So, Mark, take it away. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie. That was very sweet. I do remember that. She was afraid and she did do a flip. By the end, she did a flip off of that. So very, very cool. Go watch your son wrestle. That's so neat. So you guys, this is what we do, right? We build our business in the middle of life. And that's one of the really, really cool things to me is that we can do this while we're great parents, while we're working in another job or doing whatever, and this is still possible. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was our pay plan. And that to me is something I love. You're looking at a kid who grew up on a small family dairy farm, never thought I'd have much in life, but yet we were able to put together a pay plan that pays people way more than they ever dreamed a lot of times. I love that. But one of the keys is that our plan, it pays daily, but you determine how much it pays you. Some people, when I say that, they think, oh, if I have a bigger group, it pays me more, etc. That's not necessarily true. I know people who have smaller volumes in their organization, but make more money than people with bigger volumes. You might think, well, how's that possible? That's what we're going to talk about a little today, because I want to talk about maximizing the plan for you. How do you make the most money possible from the Singular compensation plan? Now, there's a lot of ways to make income with Singular. Some people, when they start out, they just go want to build a business, but I've talked to a couple of people and they started buying products. So here I am with this group of people who are buying products and I'm making money. And I use the XMD model here because it fits on the slide better. But so I've got 20 customers, let's say, on my front line, and I'm making money. And this is just off the unilevel. This does not include X5 and all the other bonuses you could get. This is just unilevel because it's easier to see. And this is only microdose. So Oliver's numbers are way better because he had tirzepatide, right? And in all reality, you're going to have a variety of people using microdosing, semaglutide, the tirzepatide, and then other of the peptides also. So it'll be a mix. This is just for ease of use, but I wanted to give you the principles, and that's what I want you to look at as the principles. If I was brand new to you and I got 20 customers and I was making $540 and I'm like, this is cool, right? But you're like, Mark, there's more. And so you had me keep working and keep my customer base, and I got up to 100 customers on my front line and making $2,700 plus. At this point, I'm making pools. I'm still making X5, and there's a lot more money coming in than this. But now I'm like, wow, okay, you can do stuff here, right? Then you turn the light bulb on for me, Mark. There's still so much more. And this is something that's key. Now, you're trying to help me, but I also have a responsibility to help my customers, right? I need to help these people who are buying products from me to know the same thing that I now know, that there is so much more. And that's where this key principle comes into play because, again, we pay daily. This literally impacts your life every day. You can either build in a way that maximizes what we pay you, or you can build in a way that minimizes what we pay you. It's up to you. That's totally true. We don't have enough time to go into the details on that, but I want you to know a couple of principles. Number one, width is king. Width, whether you're building XMD or building Singular or building both, width is key. I'll get into that in a second. The important thing I want you to know on this slide is what happens in your first four levels, starting with you. What happens in your first four levels will determine the ultimate direction of your group. If you sponsor a couple people and then you're done, even if some of them grow, you're going to have a little skinny organization. But if you continue to sponsor, continue to talk to people, continue to build width on that first level, that power, and it is truly power, I'll show you in a minute, that power flows down through your organization in ways that you literally cannot even imagine. But that's what we're going to talk about. So if you built, and the number of customers or partners on your front line really doesn't matter. The thing that matters is the number of them that are duplicating, right? So a couple of key things coming into here. You got to talk about the business, like Beth and others talked about. You've got to talk about the business. It is an arrow in your quiver. Some people want that. You don't know. We can't prejudge. We can't say, hey, I'm not going to talk about to Mark about the business because whatever, right? No, we've got to talk about the business. People want that. Even if we don't think they do, we tell ourselves stories sometimes that aren't true. People want that. People are doing all kinds of things to make money, from having a job to doing extracurricular stuff. They want to make money. If they're buying products, they want to get the products for as cheap as possible, which isn't a sale. It's sharing and getting commissions, right? To help pay for that. So again, the number doesn't matter as much as the people duplicating. In this example, 4 people are duplicating. I used 20 just because that's one of the things I'd done earlier. But you're now making, if you have 4 people duplicating all through your organization, you're making $6,000 off of the XMD part of your income. Okay. So $6,000 is way better than the couple of hundred, 500 I was making before, right? So I'm happy. However, You had to teach me the importance of duplicating and what the potential is. And you had to help me get some of my people duplicating, and we had to pass that on, right? 4 people duplicating, $6,000. Again, this is a microdose. This is not with tirzepatide or the variety of products you're going to have going through your organization. And this is only the unilevel. So again, not pools, not X5 or any of the other bonuses. Just trying to make it simple here. So the numbers don't matter as much as the principle. I heard something a long time ago and it says, don't do what works, do what duplicates. And I probably heard this 35 years ago. Okay. Now, at that time, I was like, I want to do what works, right? But what works for me might not work for somebody else, right? If I can get people doing things that duplicate, then I blessed me because my organization has grown, but I also blessed them because the duplication thing is key. Now, in this situation, what I did is I worked a little harder and I got 8 frontline duplicating. You remember 4 people duplicating, I made $6,000, right? Only 4 more people. And that's the principle here, you guys. I didn't go up by 10 times, or this isn't 40 people duplicating. This is 4 more people duplicating, right? Just 4 more, and teaching everybody to do the exact same thing. I increased my income by more than 10 times, from 6,000 a month to 69,000 a month. And again, this is the XMD on microdose, not including all the other bonuses we have. This is just the unilevel to show you the principle, okay? But I increased just the unilevel part of my income more than 10 times. All I did was get 4 more people duplicating. Again, the power of that exponential ability of that effort to go down through your organization is key. And again, it's same microdose, right? I didn't go up to tirzepatide. I didn't do anything different other than we got 4 more people duplicating. And you might not be able to do it for 40 people on your front line. It might take 80. It might take 100. Who cares? You got 8 people duplicating down through your organization, and you're making some significant money. Now, XMD is not the only pay plan we have. We have XMD and we have the Singular plan, which runs on the Singular products, and that pays down 8 levels. So this is where I want you to really understand the power of these two working together, okay? With the XMD, and this is again 4 duplicating, okay? 4 duplicating, I'm making $6,000 on my XMD volume, again with the microdose, not counting all the other bonuses. But with the support stacks, if I get 10% of the people in my organization using support stacks, I'm making an additional 24,000. Again, just the unilevel, not including all the other bonuses. Total of 30,000 combined, plus the other bonuses. Now, some people might be going like, "Wow, okay, 30,000 a month. I want to make 30,000 a month. That's phenomenal, Mark." I want you to understand the principle of building width in the top part of your organization. Okay. That is key. 30,000 just on the unilevel is great. There are other bonuses, yes, but that actually kind of sucks. Here is that key again. That principle is that little tiny increases in duplication from 4 to 8, not 4 to 100, 4 to 8. Little tiny duplication pays you exponentially, not 2-3 times, exponentially. Here are these 2 things, but I went from 4, right, people duplicating to 8 on my XMD side. But I also went from 10%. I didn't triple, double, whatever. I went from 10%, I did double, 10% on people doing the support stacks to 20. That's all I did. Okay. Same numbers. I didn't even go to 40. I just stayed the same because I want you to see the power of a little bit more. I went from 10% to 20% support stacks with Singular. And I'm literally making, if everybody was doing it, 1.9 million, right? It's a massive number. And I'm just using those to show you the power. Now, if anybody in here is a little math geek like me, and I'm not a math geek, hated math in high school, didn't realize until I started in business that all math does is tell you a story, right? I love the stories that math tells. But just in case you're curious, from 10% of your people doing support stacks, down 8 levels, to 20% of your people doing support stacks, doesn't double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, I don't know what 10 times is, whatever that is, your income, it goes up by 81 times. 81 times what you were doing before just by getting 10% more. That is the principle that I want you to understand about our pay plan. A little bit more, doubling the number of people that are duplicating, 10% more of your people getting on support stacks who are using the XMD products. These things work together. They're synergistic. They work together. We've got to be telling people why they need both. Melissa Adams talked to me last night. She signed up a lady. The lady and Melissa went through and got her goals and got her product. She wanted XMD and Singular, and it was going to be $700, right? A little over the $700. And Melissa was like, okay, so, and the lady, I can't spend that much. Okay, what goals do you want to defer and not do right now of the things you told me? And the lady's like, I want them all. Melissa's like, okay, so this is the product you need. And the lady was like, it's a lot. And Melissa said, it is, but if you will do this, I will help you share with enough people that we can make that money back. And the lady signed up with XMD, with Singular as a partner, wants to build a business, right? Melissa helped her understand the power of what we have, right? Just to make her money back first. The power is what you guys hold, and we have got to talk income, but I want you each individually, but you also telling your people how to maximize what they're going to do with Singular. I want you to make as much money every single day as you can with Singular, and width is the key, and duplication. From 4 to 8 people duplicating on your front line, 10 times the income on the Singular side. The support stacks, you get additional product, and it actually goes both ways. The additional products coming through your organization, and even a little bit of an increase in the number of people that are using products throughout your organization will exponentially increase the amount of money that you can make, not just you. If you help your downline to understand this exact thing, it will exponentially increase the amount of money that they will make over time with Singular. And that is, you guys, the key. I want you to focus on those things, the activities, the word tracks, the ideas that help people understand what we have, what it can do for them, and then what they can earn and what they can do for other people. It's not just posting. We've got to post. We've got to get them on the phone. We've got to get them live if you can, but some way that I can talk to you, you can talk to them, I can talk to you, you can feel the excitement in my voice, right? We can't do that through text. We can't do that through text, right? It's got to be, at some point, they've got to hear your voice. They have got to see you. They've got to feel the excitement and the power that's inside you for what you're doing, what we have, and what we can do for other people. That to me is what I love about our industry, about our business, and about Singular, is we have the ability to truly change lives. We have the ability, and nothing gets me more excited than somebody doing something they never dreamed, whether it's Stephanie doing a somersault off the zip line, whether it is her beating cancer, right? Whether it is our ability to pay people more than they ever made, take them to places they never dreamed they would ever go, make friends all across the US and Canada, the Philippines, and now Europe, okay, that we never thought we'd have before. That is Singular. That is who we are. That's why we're here. We have the opportunity for us, but we have the responsibility to help other people understand and do the same things as we do. So, you guys, that's what drives me every day. That's what gets me up in the morning. Love what we do. Thank you all for being on this. Now, I've got the opportunity to introduce somebody that I love. She is the Energizer Bunny in person, right? Go, go, go all the time. And I love her. She's done so much with Singular, had the opportunity to change her and her husband's life.